Oh, what's up, YouTubians? So, it would appear as though this could be like legitimately the last day until springtime that I get to ride for real. Our freaking forecast for the next few days is just breaks my heart. But it's almost 50 out. I actually went on a ride earlier, and I was gonna take you with me. And as I was playing with the GoPro mounted on the top of my Bell Vortex, the frickin' mount gave out. So, needless to say, I couldn't roll with that. Oh, of course. Oh, so I went on my little ride, which I feel like a dickhead because it's going to be a short vlog because I done put like 120 miles in earlier. But I mean, I have to because today is damn near 50. Well, right now it's damn near 50. And we're supposed to get 4 to 6 inches of snow overnight. Look at that, I don't even have to wear my my winter gloves. And we're supposed to get like 6 inches of snow tonight. And then we're supposed to get like another 6 inches of snow tomorrow night. And then Wednesday is supposed to be sunny, but if it really snows that much in 2 days, I won't be able to ride. And then Thursday it's supposed to be shitty and snowy, and then Friday it's supposed to be shitty and snowy. So I actually have you on my old, my first helmet. And I'm just gonna go on a ride. I don't know where to yet. Yeah. So it's been good times, I guess. You know, the weather's been shitty, but what are you gonna do about it? And I'm using my old, my first helmet, my, the hell is it? Bell Aero Turbine helmet, my $50 helmet. Yeah. So, what's everybody been up to, YouTubians? I actually do have a topic, and it's kind of shitty. And I've been over this topic before, and I know it hits home for a lot of people and whatnot. Make sure my zipper's up. Special needs children. So, I know there are a lot of people that have special needs children. I happen to be one of those people. I used to have 3. Now I have 1. The reason I had 3 is a couple of years ago, I was a foster parent. Well, until June of 2014, I was a foster parent. So I had, which I'll talk about, I had my own child, which he is deaf. So obviously special needs. And then I also we had a set of twins that are autistic. I don't know what everybody's definition of special needs is, but I mean that pretty much covers it regardless, deaf or autistic. You know, clearly not just regular kids, at least by society's standpoint anyways. Now I say fuck society's standpoint to begin with. But I just want to talk about special needs children and you know, I know I'm not the only one that has them, but I do know that for me, for a long time, it was a hell of a fight for me to get anything accomplished in regards to, especially my deaf son and being in the military. It's like nobody knew what the hell to do. And after like 5 years of researching and going to doctors and getting pissed off, you know, me and my wife finally figured it out on our own, which is the wrong answer, you know, especially being active duty. But being non-active duty is just important, you know, because you all pay for your own health care differently than I do and everything like that. Now, being active duty didn't save our asses completely. I still had bills, unfortunately, you know. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. He was only allowed through TRICARE, which is, you know, military health insurance. He was only allowed a set of hearing aids every so many years, which I can see it's understandable because TRICARE paid for them for free, or they completely covered the cost of hearing aids, and not hearing aids aren't all cheap, much less free. They're expensive as shit. You know, I think the one of the sets that we got him that had the little FM system, so that basically the teacher could wear a little necklace with a speaker on it, and it was like she was talking right in his ear while he was wearing his hearing aids. And this shit was like $1,500 per hearing aid, and he is completely deaf in one ear and over 90% deaf in the other ear. So $3,000, they were only willing to bite that bullet once every 3 or 4 years. So, you know, whatever, it is what it is. And the reason I have a bill with TRICARE still right now, or not with TRICARE, but with this, with this hospital, insurance aside, you gotta do what you gotta do to make sure that your kids get taken care of if they have anything that you think is out of the norm with them, or that doesn't meet the standard with them. If you think your child can't see well enough, that's something that you have to harp on their doctors about over and over and over until their doctors do what the fuck you tell them to do. If you think they can't hear well enough, if you think they're, you know, too emotional, not emotional enough, ADD, ADHD, OCD, whatever, fucking bipolar, schizophrenia. You know, I'm not even getting into the serious shit like asthma, heart conditions, ulcers. Doesn't matter what it is with your child. If you think that your child has something that could actually be considered a health issue, you know, you need to go plant both feet up the doctor's asses so far that the sweat from your toes quenches their thirst. I got that from Major Pain, if anybody's wondering. But it's unacceptable for the fucking healthcare industry that has become in America now to, you know, only treat the children that they want to and only diagnose them with what they want to diagnose them with. My deaf son, for instance, is 11 and a half years old. Shit. No, he's 11, just barely 11. He turned 11 in December, my bad. So he's 11 years old anyways, right? And I've been in the military his entire life. And for that 11 years, minus 3, so 8 years, has been the only time when we were like, oh, he's a normal kid. Before we started being like, oh, shit, he's deaf. Oh, why doesn't he sleep at night? Oh, why doesn't he do this? Oh, why doesn't he do that? All right, so 3 years, and it was whenever he was a child, we didn't mess around with it too much. We were like, oh, he's a normal kid. Not so much. But when we went to the doctors, the first thing, they didn't even want to say he was deaf at first. They're like, well, how'd you find out he was deaf? And I was like, well, I was backing my car out today, and I honked, and he didn't hear my shit. And they're like, oh, maybe he was just ignoring you. I'm like, yeah, I thought that too, until I got out and fucking snapped my fingers behind each one of his ears. And I snapped my fingers behind one of his ears, and he fucking ignored me. I snapped my finger behind the other one of his ear, and he looked back like I bitch slapped him. So there's definitely an issue, an underlying issue here. And their first answer was to do, shit, what's it called? It's like a small evasive surgery. Oh, earplugs. Anyway, okay, they thought that there was moisture behind his eardrum. So they went in and made a little tiny incision in his eardrum and put the little tubes, there you go, tubes in his ears. Put the little tubes in his ears so that his ears could drain shit. Well, the shitty thing is they did this surgery like 2 months out from a PCS for us. When we PCS'd, it was within 90 days of the move, so less than 5 months had gone by, which his checkup for the tubes was supposed to be 6 months, and they were supposed to stay in his ear forever in case there was moisture trapped back there. I guess they call it permanent swimmer's ear or some shit like that. But when we finally got his first checkup date, we went in and the fucking tubes had fallen out anyways. And they were like, oh, well, whatever. So, you know, that's whenever the hell started, was then, because they had to find out why he was having these problems. You know, they had to go in there and I guess put whatever the fuck they put on it to make sure that the holes heal up properly from the tubes that they put in that didn't need to be in there. And I mean, it got fucking stupider and stupider and stupider after that. It just fucking went downhill and downhill and downhill and downhill, and it didn't stop. Ever. It never freaking stopped. And it still hasn't to this day. And, you know, they've wanted to say that his problem sleeping at night is due to night terrors. No, shit, what was it first? It was due to, sleep apnea, which they diagnosed him and said that he had 2 of the 3 different kinds of sleep apnea. He had obstructive sleep apnea and he had centralized sleep apnea, which they tried to fix the obstructive by removing his adenoids and his tonsils, and that didn't do shit. But insomnia ain't no joke. He used to be able to go 3-4 days with no sleep for one night and be good to go again, which while I was deployed drove my fucking wife bonkers. He's almost been run over by cars. He snuck out of the house. The fucking list is it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Alright, my other son was special needs for a while, kinda, because he's got amblyopia, and I think he's almost legally blind in his right eye. And but I mean, you can't really tell, and he's like fucking badass at video. He's better at video games than I am, so you can't really tell that he's got anything wrong with him at all, Yeah, but on a for real note, man, special needs children, no, it's not a cold. Some people don't consider it a lot of things. Some people be like, oh, your child's got asthma, whatever. That's common. Oh, your child's got diabetes, whatever, that's common. And I'm not saying this shit's not common. I'm saying I call them special needs because of the fact that they have needs that other children do not have. So, and honestly, it's probably about 85% of kids nowadays, because supposedly here in the United States, by the time... Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. Never mind. That's for a different vlog on a different day, so my bad. But, yeah, man, special needs kids, if you have any questions, believe me, I know a lot of shit now, and if I don't, my wife does. If you have any questions or you're having a hard time, or you know anybody that is having any of these problems as far as their kids goes with getting shit done or getting the right amount of services for them or whatever the case is, put it in the comments and I will share my resource list with you. And I'm not talking about my military resource list, because that's completely different. That one's fucked, because to get anything done I have to have referrals from 9 different freaking doctors saying my child's gonna die. So definitely a different resource list than my civilian one. What the hell? Looks like I'm missing a neighbor. That's odd. Well, I'm not missing a neighbor because I don't live there anymore. Looks like somebody might be missing a neighbor.